Have you been contacted by the FBI?
A local DJ has nothing to say about endorsing a company marketing what the feds call a fraud. Listeners of popular radio personality Drew Garabo bought the product he was pushing, an investment that would supposedly earn them 12% in the worst year.
Yeah, 12%. But this may be the worst year because the feds have shut down the investment fund, calling it a Ponzi scheme. Target A senior investigator Steve Andrews joining us now with the latest on this case that you broke here, Steve. And the company that markets this is now claiming that no one's out any money, so no need to worry. But what do you think?
Well, that's its side of the story, okay? But the financial statements investors received showing they're making out like bandits are phony. The ad by radio personality Drew Garabo said it all.
The worst thing that can happen to C4 clients, even when the next market crash hits, is a 12% gain.
A personal endorsement for C4 Benefits Group and a product they were marketing to Drew's listeners.
They will come to you for free, just like my man Jackson did today. Flipped over an old IRA, and now I'm making money and I'm happy.
When I listen to him every day.
72-year-old listener Tony DeSillis called C4 and got a visit from director Darren Williams. Williams told Tony about OE Capital and its investment that promised a 12% return. How did you steer clients toward this, or why did you?
I thought that it was in the best interest of the client.
In February of this year, the SEC shut down OE Capital, calling it an egregious fraud. C4's Jackson Clemens III insists no one has lost any money. Tell that to Tony DeSillis, who tried getting some cash out of his 51 grand he invested. C4 referred him to a court-appointed receiver.
That's how I found out there was no money. I called up to try and get some cash for some things I needed to pay, and he says, sorry, there's no money.
That stunned Tony. Financial statements he received showed he was making a killing. So have the clients seen 12% return?
I don't know. I don't know. According to the SEC, they haven't seen any return because the statements were fraudulent. I don't know what the real.
What does that tell you about a return if the statements are fraudulent?
Well, it tells me it's kind of a mixed bag and that we don't know where the truth is.
According to C4's Jackson Clemens III, C4 stopped marketing OE Capital when it learned of the SEC investigation in April 2016. Documents we have show in May, C4 signed up Mary Hansen.
C4 Benefits Group knew.
How could you personally endorse a company that was pushing a scam? According to Jackson Clemens, this mess wiped out C4 Benefits Group, and thus far, he and the company are the only real victims. Now, 119 investors who put $13 million into these funds and don't have access to any of that money might disagree.
Seems like more than a mixed bag. I mean, that sounds like you've got fraudulent statements.
Yeah,
I mean, that's horrific. And what about this $13 million? Any evidence that that was ever really invested?
Well, according to the SEC, only a fraction of it was. In the final judgment that it was entered into, the Texas businessman behind this investment admits he used a good part of that money to pay himself and other expenses not related to this fund. He admits he violated security laws and gave up the right to contest any of this.
Hence the Ponzi scheme that we're talking about here, the example that it is. It's a fraud. All right, thank you, Steve. And if you have a problem that you want investigated, be sure to call our Target 8 helpline. The telephone number on your screen, 1-800-338-0808.